Well, great morning, everyone. I just watched Tim's video this morning, and I'm in agree with him 100%. You know, we're usually right straight down the line, the same thing, and in this case as well. Now, you know, people are, oh my God, we're going to get into a war now. It's World War III. Yeah, no, I don't see that at all. You know, so please, if you're coming on this channel, don't put that projection out there, because I may wind up taking your comment down, because I'm not going to have, you know, that doom and gloom projections put on here when it's not viable, okay? So anyway, I want to I'm going to do the very short read again and ask about what is going to be the fallout now for Trump, that he has done this action without informing Congress. Now, I guess he may have talked to Republicans, but he did not tell any of the Democrats of the, what do they call it, the 8 that are supposed to be informed. He did not inform them at all. So what is going to be the fallout when it comes to what he has done? I want to look at that real quick. You know, like I said, when it came to the other day, this is the beginning of the end for him. I saw at that point this decline happening, and most definitely. So underneath of it all, an ending, okay? Ending. So let's see the ending, what's driving this, and let's look what the read is about. It's about an ending. Because they don't like the harvest. And the people, the family. Now, this has been my card for Trumpenstein's family as well, but in this case, it's not that. I think this could be, you know, just people in general are not liking the harvest and saying, you know, more and more pushback, like we had on No King's Day, okay? And if he thinks this has done anything to make that better, well, it hasn't. You know, so there are going to be even more pushback, and I think this also has to do with the ending of the Magatonian family. Okay, Magatonians did not, they're saying they voted for peace, not war. So this action that he's done has not only, you know, Democrats, but also the Magatonians are saying, you know, no, this is not what we voted for. So they will be even more ready to come out against Trump. So the energy coming into it is, yeah, his abuse of power. What he did going along there without informing Congress is 100% an abuse of power, the energy of that he thinks that he can just hold on to that he can control whatever is there around him, okay? This is his thing, but people are not liking the harvest of what he just did, the control aspect, and so this is going to have rapid consequences for Trump. And also when it comes to the Magatonians, what's happening today? Oh, okay. His insanity, the things he's done by the dark of night, his unhinged happenings. Let's see what we have here. So unhinged happening, yeah, this has caused even more of a fight, of a struggle when it comes to the unhinged things that he has just done. And again, consequences. Consequences are there for the things that he has just done. So there are going to be more consequences coming into the picture. The challenge is a victory. Let's see what the challenge of victory is. Let me turn over the cards and let's see what they are. Restrictions. Restrictions are coming. Okay, the challenge is putting these restrictions in place, and with the divine feminine. Okay, the divine feminine is coming out. The one that doesn't play has the information in hand, and consequences are coming are about wanting to get a victory, putting restrictions in place. When it comes to Trumpenstein, potential outcome, we have the Repugly Uglies, Republicans, or the whole of the families, but I think it's the Republicans in this thing are looking at what action to take, looking at an action to temper him, So it may be time to look at impeachment, Article 25, something of the sort. The outside influence, let's look and see what it is. What's juggling, trying to get some sort of a balance, juggling. Yeah, looking deeper into this because he acted on his own with this. More investigations, and a continue to fight and push back, okay, when it comes to this now. Outside influence, more juggling, more looking deeper into this, and the pushback is really coming for Trump. Something more painful, concrete happening to take it out of power, okay, is being birthed in America because of what he's trying to get away with, okay. So now remember I did the reading a long time ago about Magatonians, and he needs to watch his back. Now even more so. So if we break this down, the family, Magatonians, rapid consequences for the actions. They don't want to play anymore, and they want to temper this immediately. They don't like the harvest. They don't like that he is, thinking that he can control everything. It's caused more fighting, more infighting. And the challenge is to put more restrictions, and so they're looking at what action to take. It's an ending to his abuse of power, his craziness, and wanting a victory for the Republicans, for families, for people in general, okay? The very center of, let's do the four corners, an ending when it comes to Republicans and tempering the family things that are going on. So he's losing support with Republicans, okay? It's about the struggle, the fight in the center of it, and the consequences of his action that he did by dark of night, his abuse of power. They're struggling with that, and again, the harsh light of truth is coming out, the fight with the divine feminine. And the struggle, we want a rapid victory when it comes to this, and putting restrictions on him in what he thinks he can just arbitrarily do. So when it comes to his trying to hold on and control all of the things around him, we saw this rapid abuse of power, and they're looking at an ending his ability to control The consequences of his actions are coming. Even the Trumpenstein family is starting to see his unhinged behavior, and they don't like the harvest. There's going to be a rising up. When it comes to restrictions, there's ongoing fight in figuring out the next move. And again, wanting the victory with the divine feminine, and his craziness restricting him, tempering his stuff. And the consequences of his actions are his restrictions when it comes to the Republicans in general. Okay? So all of this is creating a big backlash for he who would be king. So let's go ahead and do a clarifying read and just see what it says. But it's, at this point, he has created more enemies. Okay? And they're just saying his unhinged behavior, even among the loyal Magatonians, is creating a big friction for him. So let's give these a good ruffle shuffle, and we'll look and see the clarifying read. But his downfall, he is on the downward slide for sure. And Republicans see this is absolutely the last thing the American public wants. And they know if they continue to support this guy, they're going to go down. But let's see what it says. The center of it all is about judgment, okay? The overarching judgment that is coming because of what he has done. People don't like the harvest, okay? They're worried about World War III, etc., which is, not something, again, yeah, there it is, all the concern. The concern and the worry and the nightmare scenario, and it's got people in a real uproar with it. Their people are in an agreement about the judgment, and he is out in the cold, okay, because of the worry of people. He is not in alignment with people, even the Magatonians, again. Their worry and concern has put him out in the cold. And they are in agreement. They don't like the harvest. They don't like what he has done. Okay? So they want to have the good life. They're in agreement about wanting the good life, and the harsh light of truth is coming out. The divine feminine that doesn't play, okay? And yeah, taking the harsh road of truth, of judgment. When it comes to the Magatonian family, there is going to be a rush forward, okay? The fight is on. And looking at the long term, okay, this is again the slow-moving thing, but there will be major changes coming in because of this, because of the concern. He's out in the cold, and them wanting to have this change. The evidence is in hand, okay? And we're looking at what has been hidden. So let's see what's uncovered. It's been hidden. Okay, to standing guard, to feeling pushed to the edge. Feeling pushed to the edge now. Okay, so I think this is Trumpenstein now, feeling more pushed to the edge. Okay, because of, we have what's being shared. They're ramping up about talking about action, what's going to be handed out when it comes to the White House, restrictions in place to temper what's taking place, because everyone is not happy with what's taking place, and again, his inability to control his emotions. Okay? This has created a huge burden that people are now standing up and looking to fight going forward and investigating more deeply. And I think in this case he is on his own more pushback, okay, because of what's being juggled due to his life path actions, his choices. So what he's done with not consulting Congress, etc., he has become his own worst enemy. And even those that were loyal Magatonians are turning on him and just seeing the things he's done by the dark of the moon and his unhinged behavior. Okay. So this is really ongoing with the downward slide. Okay. He didn't get it with his parade, so he's going to show, look at how tough I am. I'm going to show you I can be a big dictator. I'm going to show you my military strength. I didn't get it with my parade. Okay, but I'll show you with my bombs. Okay. But this is having going to have a big, huge backlash for him. Going to have a big, huge backlash. Yeah. I said, is this going to basically work on taking him out? And he is in the center of it, a loss, huge loss when it comes to his ability to just control everything. The light is being shed on that. Okay. Because what he's done is unhinged. So on that note, I think I'll just go ahead and leave that here. Again, there's not going to be a World War III, so, chillax on that. That's not going to happen. Okay. We're looking deeper. And this is, again, the spiritual path, looking within the new cup, okay? The new cup of things happening. Everybody, this only more instills that we want peace, and that's what we want to birth in America, okay? More spiritual, dynamic, looking deeper, wanting that peace to be birthed in America. So again, this is only going to cause more reflection of deeper. It is not moving forward to a World War III. So again, take a breath. Now, this is not to say that there won't be consequences of something when it comes to Iran pushing back. They may be, unfortunately, people that are on U.S. bases over there may face consequences that are, you know, horrible consequences. Yeah, a message about an action. And, you know, again, there is the concern. What's coming, what's being birthed, the message about an action, and so there is concern in the Middle East. A lot of concern when it comes to American facilities over in that area and people that are stationed over in that area. A lot of concern for them. Yeah, so when it comes to over there, the concern with what he has triggered over in the East, Middle East, when it comes to American bases and people there, the light is on facing a loss. And again, could be deaths, it could be this retreat, it could be the closing down of some bases there. Okay, so light on that, on the losses that are going to be faced in the Middle East due to Trump's action. Okay, his stupidity. Okay, closing down some things in the Middle East. So on that note, I'll leave that here, and we'll see you online.